Hello and welcome to the Metal Matt Podcast, and boy do we have a doozy of an episode today. Today we're going to be talking about a movie called The Caretaker, and boy was it an experience. But first I want to give a couple shout outs. One, Chucky's Playground, the best website in the entire world. Definitely check it out because it's just an awesome place to be with awesome people. And speaking of Chucky's Playground, we are going to have a live stream here tonight. We're going to have a live stream of Seed of Chucky and Curse of Chucky. It is going to be very awesome. Most of us are going to be there, so definitely hang out with us. But you have to be a registered member of the forum to join, so be sure to join us today. And Spanky and G's podcast, as usual, is always great as well. They just released a new episode about Schmidt this past Tuesday. They're going to release an episode on The Big Lebowski next Tuesday, so definitely check that out because they're really great. And so now it's time to get on with Shoot the Shuffle. Number 1, Fetish by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts from Sinner. Really great song from a bit of an underrated album, and it's probably the heaviest Joan Jett's ever gotten in terms of heavy metal and hard rock, because it's really very metal. Number 2, Life in the Fast Lane by the Eagles from Hotel California. Really good Eagles song. Number 3, Diner Chaos by Grand Revel from Bride of Chucky. As I said, Bride of Chucky is my favorite movie score of all time, and it's just a really cool score. This one is no exception. Number 4, Eyesight to the Blind, The Hawker by The Who from Tommy. This is a cover of an old blues song, and it's just an interesting cover, but I think Aerosmith did a better cover. Number 5, Dark Horse by Katy Perry. And even though my name is Metal Matt, and even though my favorite genre is hard rock and heavy metal, I do have a bit of a soft spot for pop music and other genres. And I actually do kind of like this song. I think the rap verse is completely unnecessary, and it's not very good. But I think other than that, it's a pretty good song. Number 6, Child's Play 3 theme by John D'Andrea and Corey Louise from Child's Play 3. As I've said before, I think this is a bit of an underrated theme. Not a lot of people really talk about this theme, but it's pretty cool. Number 7, Follow You Home by Nickelback from All the Right Reasons. Pretty heavy song with interesting story. Number 8, Call of the Zombie by Rob Zombie from Hellbilly Deluxe. Not a very long song, and it's really more of an intro to the album than anything else, but it's really good and it sets the vibe very well. Number 9, Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit from Significant Other. Really good new metal song. And finally, number 10, Judas Be My Guide by Iron Maiden from Fear of the Dark. An okay song from Fear of the Dark, not very good, even though Fear of the Dark is a very good album. So now Shoot the Shuffle is over, and now, regrettably, it's time to talk about The Caretaker, and what an experience that was. And I say this without any sarcasm. I am 100% dead serious when I say this. The Caretaker is probably the worst horror film I have ever seen. It's pretty much how not to do a slasher film. And I'll just go ahead and read the back of the DVD box cover, because I want you to know exactly what this is about. At least to the best of their knowledge, what they wanted you to know about. The teen slasher film is back. Yeah, right. A group of teenage boys out to give their girlfriends a good scare on homecoming night, which also happens to be Halloween, head to an abandoned house in an out-of-the-way fruit orchard where they uncovered the story of a real-life urban legend, The Caretaker. If that's cliched, it is. It's just as cliched as it sounds. And the way I I found out about this movie was that I was just watching Jennifer Tilly videos on YouTube. Don't judge me. I was just watching kind of interviews and movie clips and stuff like that, and then I came across a clip from a movie called The Caretaker, and it was all of her scenes, which she doesn't have a lot of scenes in here. She's in the movie for like 10 minutes, which really disappointed me. But anyway, I saw it, and it really did not seem that good. But I thought, you know what? Maybe this will make a good episode of the podcast. I'll go ahead and watch it. I'll go ahead and rent it, watch it, see how it is. And I kind of regret doing that. Like, this movie is like an hour and 16 minutes, an hour and 22 minutes. And it's not very long at all, but it really did feel long. It felt like 10 hours. Like, this movie moves really slow. And the thing that I hate the most about it is that they kind of abused their authority, their power with it. Because Jennifer Tilly and Judd Nelson are top billed on a DVD cover. But they're really only in it for not that long. Jennifer Tilly's only in it for 10 minutes, and Judd Nelson is in there for even less. Like, Judd Nelson is in there for 2 scenes. And he is kind of just phoning it in, really. You could kind of tell that he doesn't really want to be there. But, and Jennifer Tilly, she tries her best with what she's given. Like, she doesn't have, like, the best role in the world, but she does the best with what she's given. So I guess I can just describe the plot, if there is any, because it really isn't a plot to it. Like I said, all these teenagers who are terrible characters, just terrible. Like, they're not even stereotypes, they're just people that you just couldn't care less about. And I think that's what's the most insulting to me, the fact that they don't even bother to make these people stereotypes. And stereotypes would have been better than just the forgettable that they were. Not to mention, all of them are pretty much jerks. Especially this one kid. Topher, I believe his name is. And like, he is just, oh god, just a despicable guy. And just, like, I don't know exactly how to describe it because I watched it last night and I can't even remember most of it. Like, which should really give you a clue just how memorable this movie is. And, like, he goes and farts on girls and, like, yells at the top of his voice, which should really tell you just the maturity level of this movie. Like, they're all at a dance and they go to this old house, and one of them tells an urban legend of the caretaker. And I'm not even going to get into the urban legend because it's so stupid and so cliched and it's so boring. I'm not even going to bother wasting my time with it. But it ends up that the caretaker story, it ends up being true, and just, it's really boring. It really does feel like a long time. So he ended up telling the story, and out of nowhere, Jennifer Tilly's character ends up appearing. And Jennifer Tilly plays a teacher at the school. And as much as I love Jennifer Tilly, there was really no reason her character needed to be in this. I mean, she does fine what she's given. She gives a good performance, but she's Jennifer Tilly. She's going to give a good performance anyway. But not only did she act like she belonged in a different movie, you could cut all of her character scenes out of the movie, and it really would not make a difference. Hey, I mean, you could cut out everybody else's scenes in the movie, and it would make no difference, other than it being a better movie. But anyway, like, Jennifer Tilly's character ends up being killed for no reason, which I hated. Like, Jennifer Tilly shouldn't have been killed, but anyway. And the Caretaker himself really isn't that frightening of a villain. Like, he uses like a fruit picker as his weapon, which I'll give the movie this. That's an interesting weapon. That's a unique weapon. I don't think I've ever seen that weapon used in a horror movie before. But the Caretaker himself is not that frightening. Like, he not only is he cliched, but he looks like if the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, Kimchi from WWE, and the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz all had a baby together. And that is what he looks like, swear to God. And throughout the entire movie, I was joking that he looks like what would happen if the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz went goth. Like, that is what I was saying the entire movie. Because that really is what he looks like. It's just a very silly kind of appearance. And almost all the kids end up dying, which, yeah, shocker. And I guess I'll go ahead and just skip to the ending, because there really isn't a lot that happens in this movie. I mean, it's sad to say, but not a lot does happen. You know, you'd think that a lot would happen, but it really doesn't. So I'll just go ahead and skip to the ending. And there really is no character development at all. Like, the kids find they find one of their friends killed, and they're like, Derek the Dealer? And I'm like, okay, how do you know this character? Because that character comes in at the beginning, and he really is just out of nowhere. You really don't know who he is. But, yeah, anyway, I'll just skip to the ending. The ending, there's only one girl left, and she somehow makes her way back to the dance. She escapes from the Caretaker, and her dad comes and picks her up, and her dad's played by Judd Nelson. And she's putting her earrings in the truck, and earlier in the film, she's like, they're all I have of my mother. And Judd Nelson is like, your mother loved those earrings. And like a couple flashbacks to when she puts on the earrings. And this is supposed to be the big reveal of the Caretaker, I guess. I really don't know. It's really confusing. It's done extremely poorly. Like, maybe as poorly as you could possibly can. Like, and the Caretaker, like, appears in the rear view mirror, kind of. It's just like a clip of the Caretaker walking around the fruit yard. Like, that's it. You know, so that's supposed to be their big reveal. It's supposed to reveal that Judd Nelson was the Caretaker the whole time. But they do it so poorly that I was more confused than shocked. You know, like, they could have done this a lot better. Like, they had to try in order to be that terrible. Like, a better one would have been the girl seems to have killed the Caretaker. She unmasks him. It's revealed to be Judd Nelson, but Judd Nelson opens his eyes, and cut to black. That would have been a better ending than this. It would have been cliched, yeah, but at least it would have been better. And one more thing I have to mention. The gore in this one, or lack thereof, is completely terrible. Because all of the kills, and I swear to you, all of the kills are done off screen. I swear to God. All of them are done off screen. And it really is like they were trying to go for a PG-13. But they didn't get a PG-13. They got an R for some horror violence and nudity. But the horror violence is rare. Like, it's nothing tamer than you would see in a PG-13. I mean, this movie could have gotten a PG if it wasn't for the nudity. Like, it's really how tame it is. And, like, some of them, they show, like, the aftermath of it, but even then, it's really not that great. It's only, like, a few drops of blood, and that's it. Like, this is a horror movie. We expect to see gore. Like, I'm not expecting, like, a Saw or Dead Alive type gore fest, like, where there's tons of blood, like, 1,000,000 gallons of blood, like Dead Alive did. But, I mean, this is a horror film, a slasher film. Like, we expect a few gore kills, you know, a few gory kind of stuff to happen in here. And it never, ever does, you know. And Jennifer Tilly's character's death is really poorly done as well. Well, but everyone's death is done really poorly as well, so it's not right. But anyway, that's all I have to say about The Caretaker. Just a really terrible movie. A movie that wasted an hour and 22 minutes of my life. And that's it. I do not recommend this movie. It is not worth seeing. It's only worth seeing if you love torturing yourself with bad movies. I do not recommend it. It is terrible, terrible. And the only good thing about the movie is Jennifer Tilly, who does look pretty sexy in this movie. But other than that, it's terrible and boring. Boring. I mean, there's really nothing else to say about it. I do not recommend it. The movie is god-awful. So the next time we come back, which will be Wednesday, I will be discussing horror remakes. And this will be the first part of a series, because I won't be covering every horror remake. Like, Friday the 13th won't be in there because I haven't watched it yet, and House of Wax won't be in there. But other than that, I'll try and get most of them in there. I still need to watch the Nightmare on Elm Street remake and the Fright Night remake. So those will be in there as well. So when we come back on Wednesday, we will look at some horror remakes. And that's it for today. I hope to see you at the live stream on Chucky's Playground tonight, and I'll see you Wednesday.